First was getting an approval from council, and a lot of things had to fall in place for that to happen. Firstly, we realised that the existing building actually was under the council controls in terms of height limit and floor space, so we were very lucky in that way. So even when we put the new building on, we actually complied with the height limit, surprisingly. Likewise with the floor space ratio. So in Australia we've got this thing called floor space ratio, which means that certain sites have certain floor space capacity. So the existing building actually was below that ratio, so we're actually able to add this new penthouse but still comply with that floor space control. So they got a big tick from council. We since then met with the heritage planner at council, and they wanted the building not to be seen. They didn't want it to be dominated from the rest of the building. So our approach was always that we wanted to really distinguish new and old. We wanted our building to look quite modern, and with the angles and the cladding. So we said, okay, we'll recess it back and we'll paint it white. In this case, we clad it in a sort of an off-white metallic cladding, so not to sort of dominate the existing building too much. And we also set the front, the building at the front by 6 metres from the existing parapet, and that also created a nice generous balcony or terrace there at the front, like a nice sort of outdoor space. So once we implemented those changes, the council pretty much rubber stamped the approval. The second challenge that we faced was putting a new building onto an existing building that's quite old and dilapidated. And the first thing we did was had to engage a really good structural engineer to advise as to how we could overcome the challenges of putting a new building onto something that's pretty run down, and not to cause excessive cracking.